What do men do when they retire? Well, sadly, they often leave all their work colleagues and social life behind and find themselves at home feeling rather lonely. Here's a group in North Bristol, at Patchway, that may have the answer. It's called Men in Sheds.
Men in Shed started in February 2013, where a lady from Southern Brooks Community Partnership that are based here in Patchway had an idea of and had a project to do with precious time to get people to use their time better. And she was particularly keen to get men involved, and she'd seen that there were these things called Men in Sheds, particularly in Australia where they were started, and there are 2,000 sheds in Australia to stop social isolation of men and to give them a purpose to get up sometimes in the morning and just to go and meet, have a cup of tea maybe, have a biscuit, maybe make something, maybe not, maybe just come and have a chat. All these things work. So Southern Brooks started the idea, and they got a few folk together, mainly from the Patchway Garden Club, and after that the shed was formed, and we were really lucky that very early in the piece Patchway Town Council were kind enough to offer us the use of this sports pavilion, which is used during the weekends extensively for cricket and football during their seasons, but during the day nobody uses it at all. So they've allowed us to gradually take over little bits and pieces of the pavilion, and so now we've got 3 workbenches in there, various piles of wood. We've got a cupboard where we can keep all our tools, and that's really good because that's what's going to make a shed work, is having some premises.
Inside the shed, work was already well underway. Dave was busy sanding wooden building blocks. I asked him if he'd done much woodwork in the past.
I've always done woodwork at home, yes. I've played with wood most of my life, doing one thing or another. I'm making push-along trucks.
How many have you made?
Well, this is the first, I'm on with the second. I've made 2 or 3 of those smaller ones.
What else do you get from belonging to Men in Sheds?
Well, it's companionship, we meet people.
Do you have a customer in mind for this one?
No. They go onto a stand at a show.
Yes.
That's the idea. And that's where the feedback came from. The last show, they were selling those, yes. And somebody said, well, they wanted a push-along. Hence, we got this feedback, which was very useful.
A lot of things are made from scratch, from recycled timber. So we make bird boxes and garden planters and a number of things of that type. We've also done some restoration of furniture. People bring damaged bits of furniture in and say, can you do anything with it? So we've done 1 or 2 of those. We did a little bit of bike repair at one time, but that seems to have dried up at the moment. So this is a triangular style bird box. The key to bird boxes is normally the size of the hole, which determines what kind of bird can use it. So that's a fairly small hole, so that would be for a blue tit or something of that nature. And at the end of the season, you undo the screw at the top, which is there, and you can open it out to clean it out and basically tidy it up, put it back together, put the screw in, and off you go for another year.
When we go to events, people order planters, say, or bird tables or whatever, so we'll make those to order. We do keep a small stock of those, but basically it's for whatever the blokes want to do. If somebody wanted to make a train set, they could come here and they could make a train set. They'd have to take it away with them each time, which might be a problem, but it's whatever they want to do. It's not there is no structure. People can do whatever they want. If they wanted to make a model aeroplanes, fine, come and make a model aeroplane. It's just whatever you want to do, you can do it yourself. But we tend to use free, cheap pallet wood because it's free. And it's also this really trendy word called upcycling. So we're upcycling all of this pallets into trendy planters. All we need to do now is get the farrow and ball paint and we'll be really chic.
We're making another workbench actually, and this is just a piece that we need to put into it to strengthen it up. and
Let's see
the
rest of see if it fits.
yeah, hope so.
Not that I noticed.
It's worth going in for breakfast just for that, really. Yeah.
When you look at your eyes,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my breakfast on that.
I mean,
Let's not go there.
and lo and behold, it does. Well, it needed some backing under this piece, the top of the workbench, because there was some bounce in the thing. We need it solid. That piece of wood here supports the voice, and there was a gap between the working surface and that piece of wood, and so that gave some bounce, which we didn't want. So we backed it up with another piece of wood in between the two.
And now it's nice and strong.
Yep, that's right.
Most of the timber comes from wooden pallets. A special tool is used to extract the component parts.
This is the first thing we ever bought for the shed. It cost us £80, and it means that we can take a pallet apart pretty much whole. We won't get matchwood. If you try to do it with any other tools, you just end up with bits. So it's a specially designed crowbar, in effect, and it's the best thing we've ever bought for the shed, because it means all of the pallets we get given, we can take apart and make into something hopefully more useful. So you put the lever into a point on the pallet, pop one side and move along until you've got one side completely off, and then move to the next bit and just keep popping along until you get all of the bits of wood off of the pallet. And then we use a crowbar, an old-fashioned crowbar, to pull the nails out one by one. So that's how you take a pallet apart. But every pallet's different. Some come apart more easily than others, and some don't.
I've been painting a lot of things, like the bird boxes, the planters, or whatever they give me to paint. Obviously, the people who made the boxes or whatever they're making, they come up to see me and tell me the colour what they want. This is the one what Steve made. Made two of them and got me to paint green. He preferred the colour green. We do bug boxes as well. They're a little small shape with holes in there, and it's for the bugs, like caterpillars and all sorts of bugs. And I make the tea, by the way.
I thought that was your most important job.
Yes, very important job, and I get moaned at when I don't do it. But they're all good fun, and they're all good guys, and they treat me with respect.
We're one of about 140 sheds at the minute, but there are more opening up. And if you want to come along to this one, we're on a Wednesday from 10 till about 1 o'clock. We have a website, which the details are below, and you'll be very welcome. Come for a cup of tea, come for a chat, come and make something if you want, or just come and have a look. You're very welcome.